So with that, I am so excited to get to our final speaker of the night. And our final speaker of the night is Charlie. And Charlie is a lifelong entrepreneur whose first business was a speed dating company where he briefly held a world record. He's a two-time national champion in Brazilian Jiujitsu. And he's part of a team that's about to launch a smart planter designed to help you not kill your houseplants. Charlie, come on up and share your fuck up.
I fuck with Jackable Rowan. Thanks for reserving these seats for my parents, Marcia. I appreciate that. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, hi, I'm Charlie Bern, VP of Growth and Strategy at Gilno Technologies. Oh, there it is again. There's me with my picture. So before that, I was the founder of PATIO Interactive. You can scan that later, it's fine. So this is my origin story. That's me in the yellow cab. I was a victim of taxi-on-taxi crime in 2012. I awarded the grand total of $5,000 that I then took and started my own business. So I started a business, didn't really know what I was doing, but I was a big fan of cool technology. I was a big fan of extending my childhood as much as possible. So we used new and emerging technology to help our clients thrive in disruption. At the time, I had read this book called Anti-Fragile. Protect the downside. That's important for later. But prepare to benefit disproportionately from potential external negative events and cases in all blah, blah, blah. So we started doing different kinds of projects. Basically, we're using technology, virtual reality, augmented reality, projection mapping, really cool nerdy shit. And we were using like design thinking to think of ways to help our clients' problems. Super fun, definitely an extension of my childhood. Super fun shit. You guys remember when this guy was cool? So he legalized weed, and that kind of changed a lot of things. As a company that was nimble and trying to do cool stuff, we're like, yeah, that sounds like fun. It was a nascent industry. They had a lot of money. There wasn't as many institutional barriers, or so I thought. But really, the cannabis industry, the founding fathers are these two guys. So we got the cowboys and the finance guys. So the guys who sort of slipped into the legal space from whatever they were doing before, and the finance guys who were just there to capitalize on that space. We jumped in. We're like, fuck yeah, that sounds great. We started working for some cannabis clients, building technology, doing cool stuff. We did a virtual reality tour for this client called CanTrust. And their goal was really to show investors how their facility looked. And because their facility was in the middle of nowhere, so they were doing their investor roadshow. And this was basically a way to bring the roadshow to the investors. They really liked it. We built an augmented reality investor presentation because you don't want another slide deck, as I presented on a slide deck. We built an augmented reality cannabis learning module. We built another augmented reality bud tender where she'd pop up and tell you what kind of strains you want. This is Roy Woods, OVO recording artist with an augmented reality bud for some reason. This is a guy using our product and possibly also CanTrust product at the same time. This is my business partner. She loves that I use this photo in the terpene smell-o-vision booth with actually a contractor of ours. We had a great company culture. So we helped them raise about $200 million, $7 billion valuation. I have this quote: the VR experience was the best investment we ever made. Investors had never seen anything like it. They absolutely loved it. We helped them raise all this money. Things are going pretty good. July 2019, I'm doing interviews. We're talking at conferences about all the cool technology. It's a really innovative field. My business partner did a TED Talk on human-centered design in cannabis. So we got about $1 million of projects lined up. CanTrust is our biggest client. We had doubled our headcount since getting into the space, which is cool because we were growing. And I reinvested our earnings into CanTrust because why not? They believe in us. I believe in them. I think one of the challenges in the agency world is really pitching wacky forward ideas, especially in the Canadian culture, Canadian business culture. And this was an industry where they were really receptive to it. They're like, yeah, let's do it. Whatever I pitched them, they were into. So what could possibly go wrong? Cool. So they got raided by the feds. I was actually visiting another friend's office, and the news came on in the background. And yeah, they had illegal grow rooms, and they were shut down by Health Canada. A lot of fraud going on. I was unaware. Even though, we filmed in their facility, we didn't know what we were filming, and, it's not like I was that high up on the totem pole. So, yeah, we went from a $7 billion valuation down to zero, and most of my business was really tied to the work we were doing in the cannabis space and to CanTrust. So I'm not here to talk about CanTrust fuck up. They could do their own, but I think they might perjure themselves, so they can't be here. But 80% of our projects were canceled within a week. Big financial hit. Oh yeah, I put all that money into the TFSA, so you can't even claim that as a tax write-off, as I found out. And also, because we were doing so much work in the cannabis space, I just stopped nurturing our clients in the non-cannabis space because we were just too busy. And also, before this, we were like, hey, look at all the cool shit we're doing with CanTrust. Look at, we're the team behind CanTrust. We're the innovative team. And then there was some ripple effects too. So really, it goes without saying, I really fucked up. I asked ChatGPT to give me a visual representation of the story. I like that one random shoe that's just not attached to anybody. So I want to talk about the ripple effects real quick because this is something that really has haunted me. This is our team, or a part of our core team in June 2019. We are celebrating our 5-year anniversary. I grinded from 2014 to then to build this company up. We had a great company culture. We loved doing the work. We couldn't always pay the best market rates, but I could promise a really stimulating environment where we're doing the coolest projects, great people to work with, and an opportunity for growth. July 2020, most of those people are gone. So let's recap on the book that I based my company on. Protect the downside, blah, blah, blah. Did not protect the downside. In this case, I seriously overcommitted to the cannabis space and to our client CanTrust. I can get into the details of the minutia of where I fucked up, but I think as a general principle, don't hitch your wagon to a single person, and also maybe think strategically about the industry that you're getting into. It was a nascent industry, which was exciting, but it was also kind of a shiny object because there were some downsides. And when you hitch your wagon to a single company like that, things can happen. Oops. So I only had 10 minutes to tell a story, and I wanted to talk about sort of what happened next. We were gutted as a company, and it was super hard to recover from that. Fortunately, we were anti-fragile in other ways, so that did help. And the pandemic, you guys are aware, it was a weird time, and for us, we were able to be positioned in a way that we were helping a lot of clients and a lot of customers, or that came to us post cannabis, where we could do some cool stuff with them. So we were actually acquired in 2021, and I was able to rebuild the company. And I think something that Marcia said earlier about like behind the scenes, this was seen as a success story. We had, at that time, we had about 15 employees and 35 contractors, and I wanted to cash out, and the timing was right. But I also wanted to cash out because I was just so fucking sick of the roller coaster. I felt such a connection to my team that had helped me get to there, and then they all left, not because I fired them, but because they just weren't inspired to be there anymore after what happened in 2019. So I didn't blame them. And when we rebuilt the team, I had this new team, and I was just so afraid that the other shoe was going to drop. So when the acquisition offer came in, I jumped at it, but it wasn't just because, Astound acquires digital innovator PATIO Interactive, because the guy wanted to get the fuck out of there. That's the part they don't tell you. And I was sort of afraid that if it happened again, then I would be back to zero. So that's sort of the crux of it. So the question is like, can a psyche be anti-fragile too? Because, after this, I did an ayahuasca retreat and other things, eat, pray, love. And I really tried to process everything that happened because it was a lot that you go through. You learn from these experiences, but it also sort of scars you in certain ways, and it takes time to process and hopefully become stronger from it. Maybe with time and therapy. Actually, there shouldn't be a question mark there. Yes, it absolutely can be anti-fragile, but it's you need to do the work and you need to figure it out. And it's not like there wasn't things I regret. Obviously, maybe you need to do a fuck-up night to talk about it. So I'll leave you with a favorite corporate culture guru here. This is for you, Zara, the HR person. Leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those you're in charge of. Thanks.
Thank you, Charlie. That was a crazy story. I feel like there's so many of these cannabis stories just coming out of the woodwork. Now I feel like folks have moved on. But that was such a crazy story, and you were so vulnerable sharing it. So thank you. I'm sure you're going to have some really good questions. So let's open it up for some Q&A.